Okay, so many new faces in the crowd today. We're super excited to have you. Welcome to 1 Million Cups on this happy Wednesday morning. My name is Julianne Slesky. I am, as always, your host for this morning. Our fierce leader, Leah Rowe, is out of town.
She's at a culture convention, I believe.
Doing
so
something awesome.
She's representing Madison out in Seattle right now, I think.
I was going to say Oregon.
Yeah.
So we will just get through this quickly. First and foremost, as always, love to thank our sponsors, Field 59 for the live stream and the YouTube video that you guys can find after our events. Also, the library for providing our great space, and Old National Bank and Crescendo for providing us with the coffee. For those of you who are new, we always start off by going through introductions. So what we ask is that you say your name, your place of work, and then your position through that. That also just helps our speaker know who's in the room to see her, make sure that her requests are appropriate for this crowd. So I'll kick us off. I'm Julianne Slesky. I work with the Madison Club doing business development.
My name's Diana Pastrana. I am with M&M Office Interiors. I'm also the social media coordinator for 1 Million Cups now. So weekly I'm going to be asking you guys to help out and pitch in and post up and use our hashtags, which are coming, and go from there. And we're going to work on live streaming. So for people who can't make it but still want to see what 1 Million Cups is all about, we're going to really focus on collaborating with Field 59 to do that. So we're going to be getting out to new places. So
I'm Michael. I work at HealthFinch. I'm a product person there, and I am the coach / website person here with 1 Million Cups.
And I'm Dominic DeMarco. I'm entrepreneur in residence at QBE Insurance Company, and I do recruitment of the speakers here. And theoretically, I'm also supposed to get sponsorship, but that's all kinds of booked up for a while, so I don't have to worry about that.
We do have the space in the coffee until the end of the year, so that's when Dominic will really start getting into gear. Just kidding. Aiden?
My name is Aiden Wintery. I work at HealthFinch, and I'm on the customer success team.
Great. My name is Lisa Dugdale. I work with the Center for Community Stewardship. We help nonprofits get started through fiscal sponsorship and offer facilitation.
Mitch Mustardi. I work with Lift Consulting. I'm the Director of Sales.
I'm Mitch DeWitt. I'm with Merrill Lynch Wealth Management. I put a big emphasis on impact investing. A lot of you have heard that, but basically helping my clients incorporate environmental and social criteria into their investment decision process.
I'm Brian Lind. I'm Julianne's husband. I am Canadian.
That is his full-time
That's
job.
my full-time job. Just moved here from Canada, awaiting my green card, and just like coming out and hanging out with all you people.
Husband first, green card second.
Yeah.
I'm Laurel Gosher. I'm customer success at Akita Box.
Clara Benzo, HR manager at Akita Box.
Shobin with HealthX Ventures as a partner, and recently took on Corp Dev GC role for an ed tech company out of Austin. So we're moving to Austin.
I'm Derek Kepler with Field 59.
I'm Dan Anderson. I'm the second Dan Anderson in here, but I don't go by Danny. I go by Dan unless I'm in trouble, and then it's Daniel. I am a consultant in software development and health informatics. I'm new to Madison and eager to find out what's going on here, so this seems like a good venue.
I'm Jared Von Baron. I'm a financial advisor with Guardian Life, focusing on helping entrepreneurs chase their dreams without having their finances get in the way.
My name is Chris Stroman. I work with Jared at Guardian Life. Some people plan their finances and investments.
Hi, I'm Steve Slatton. I have my own little LLC, and I'm here networking.
Good morning, Gene Sarmiento with Legal Shield. First time here. We focus on the small business and employee benefit market lead regarding identity theft as well as legal solutions.
My name is Lindsay LaPlante, owner of Expressively You, and it is my first time. And what I do is I do workshops, creative workshops, live arts to engage and interact with people to create a piece that's really original and tells a story.
I'm Linda Larson. I'm an electrical engineer. I've been with IBM for about 17 years doing the physical design of computer chips and looking at how I can apply that to smart systems like vehicles or manufacturing.
I'm DP Knudten, chief collaborator at Collaborator Creative. I collaborate creatively with a wide variety of complicated companies and individuals on everything from custom writing to nonfiction branding. And by the way, I have to show baby pictures because they're here. The book that I talked about is live on Amazon or available for purchase right here, and I do take credit cards. Just saying. All right, Dominic's got it. Woo-hoo! Thank you very much.
And I get to follow that. I'm Brian Rathman with i5 Digital Fitness, an all-inclusive digital marketing company that does everything from video, photo, SEO, and builds your digital muscle. i5 Digital Fitness, keeping you digitally buff.
My name is Trezzy. I am a software engineering consultant helping my clients with engineering teams improve. I also do a podcast called 100 State of Mind. I don't know if there are any entrepreneurs in the room, but if there are, you should talk to me because I want you on the podcast.
We'll be there today.
Yeah.
Andrew Gonzalez, commercial banking with Old National Bank.
Good morning, I'm Jason Knockreiner. I'm with Ridgetop Consulting. Our areas of emphasis are communications of all sorts and network security. Oh, and I'm having coffee with Trezzy.
I'm Dr. Eric Johnson. I'm a chiropractor and nutritionist at Functional Wellness and Chiropractic Center, and I utilize nutrition with chiropractic to help get people better quicker.
Alex and Danny, I saw you guys sneak in. You want to introduce yourselves really quick?
Hey, good morning. I'm Alex Ryan. I'm the founder of Prairie Light Solar. It's a renewable energy consulting firm.
I'm Dan Anderson. I work for an accounting firm. It's called Baker Tilly. Good morning.
I'm Dan. Wow. So, Michael, do you want to introduce our speaker?
Yeah, sure. This is also a lot of new folks in the room today. That's good to see. We've got Sharon here this morning from All Parents on Deck, and I'll let you take it away, Sharon.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone. Good morning. My name is Sharon Edwards Billings, and as Michael said, I am the president founder of an exciting grassroots parent and student advocacy organization, and I was just taking in all of the introductions. This is the first time I have been in a room to present and talk about my organization to a room that is comprised of a majority of men. I think it's interesting, your occupations, and I'm wondering, why am I here? But the reason why I'm here is to talk about my organization, and I want to thank Michael for this opportunity. I'm going to do something that is a little bit unorthodox. I will not use any type of PowerPoint or whatever. I'm just going to wing it, and this is usually when I speak how I do a very raw kind of presentation. So one of the things I'm going to do is ask Michael to come up, and I have some things I want to hand out to my audience. I have pens and I have a note card, and I'm going to ask, I'll give you the note cards, and maybe Julianne can do the pens.
I can, yeah.
So while they are doing that, I'm going to ask everyone, I'm going to take you back to your elementary, middle, high school days. And for most of you, that probably is not a long time away. Everyone in this room seems pretty young. I want you to think about your days in your school, elementary school, your time in elementary school, middle school, or high school. And then just kind of briefly take a moment, think about it, and I'd like for everyone to put down 2 words that would describe either elementary, middle, or high school, your experience, be it positive or negative. Just note it on your card. You can put that down too, I don't remember. Or college, for those who have to go back pretty far. College is fine also, that would be acceptable. And we'll just take a little time. I'll just kind of browse around the room, and when everyone is giving me the notion that they're ready, we'll move forward.
Hey, we're not talking about, we're not supposed to talk about kindergarten. We're not talking about
Michael, do you want to do this?
Thank you.
Has anybody noted their words yet? Okay. So now I'm going to ask you to do another thing. I want you to flip that note card. I want you to fast forward back to 2017. And then I want you to please take note, make 2 words, write down 2 words that would describe your perception, your understanding of our school system at this current time.
Are you talking in general?
Just
or
generally
like public
speaking.
school systems?
It doesn't matter. Whatever your
Okay.
perception of school is, make a note of that. On the other side of the card using 2 words. I am going to choose 4 people to come up and to present their words, if you don't mind. Is there anybody that wants to volunteer, or do I have to come up?
Can I just stand or talk from here, or do I have to come all the way off?
All the way up.
Front of the class.
Come on down.
Yeah, I'm used to the front of the class.
And the principal's office.
That too. Okay.
Okay, and 3 more people.
I really think DP should come up too.
All right, well,
DP,
gauntlet thrown down.
I mean, why not?
Picked up.
any ladies?
I did so much.
One more person. How about Julianne?
I missed the full thing.
Oh,
I'm
shoot.
really sorry.
That's okay. Come on, Michael.
I've got.
That's fine. In the interest of time. And you can stand over here by me. I won't bite you, I promise. All right, so why don't you go ahead and read the first set of words?
Yeah, so my my schooling recollection are science and friends.
Okay, and then your flip side of today, your perception.
I just got one, but it's STEM focus. So I guess it's kind of 2 words, but cheating.
Still science, but no, it's
Yeah.
fine. There's no right or wrong in yourself.
So I wrote about high school. I wrote down friends and teammates.
And your flip side of your note card, please.
School districts. Political and progressing.
Okay, wonderful. Yourself?
I just kind of looked at schooling in general, which frustrating and illuminating.
That's your experience?
That's my experience.
Okay, and today?
The schools are under siege and undervalued.
Okay, thank you. And yourself?
So my experience was comfortable and routine, and then current trends are multitask and overtask.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for coming up. Thank you for that. And I'll lead into my presentation now. All Parents on Deck is a grassroots parent and student advocacy organization that I created in 2003. The impetus that led me to create this organization was when I moved here to Madison. I was a little bit surprised to see the minimum amount of persons of color who were involved in their children's academic journey. And so I started out on this journey to create an organization that would motivate and encourage specifically minority parents to come and get involved in their school. And what I found over a period of time is that parental involvement, family engagement, is an issue that not only minority parents deal with, all parents deal with the issue at some point in their life. And so I had to have a paradigm shift and readjust my approach, my marketing skills, and I came up with the current model where now when we talk about All Parents on Deck, it is an image of as many parents as possible being engaged, involved in their child's academic journey. And what we do is we use creative approaches to accomplish this goal. One of the things I'd like to do now, Michael, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, is I'm going to ask you to pass out this information to this side of the room, and then Julianne, I'm going to ask you to pass out information to this side of the room. And then our wonderful camera person will get one of these.
Okay.
Only he. Extras. And then I'm going to ask you to pass out this information to all of the men that are wearing glasses. Only
all
glasses.
These glasses.
Yes.
Totally off the hook.
And the gentleman from Baker Tilly, Mr. Accountant,
Dan.
What?
I need you, please.
You need me up there?
Yes, please.
All right. Hope this isn't a test.
We're going to ask you to create some raw statistics. I was told that we have 23 people in the room. Is that correct, Michael?
25.
25. Okay, do you have your tablet or here? I have a note card for you. And I want you to just create statistics.
I should have called me up.
Don't make this up.
Well,
10%.
okay, so I'd like for you to take note of the majority of who wears glasses, how many wear glasses, how many women, how many men, and then when I go through the material that we're talking about, I want you to create a statistic for us. And there's a method to my madness.
Do context count?
No, because then we wouldn't know.
I can see if they have context.
And you can include yourself with the glasses too. So let's move forward with the presentation. So what I just did is I dispersed information. One of the things that I didn't tell you is that I am a librarian by profession. I have worked in the legal community as a law librarian. I've also worked in for the federal government, a federal agency in the area of emergency management. But during that time, I still was really passionate, concerned about parental involvement, family engagement. And so after 8 years of working in emergency management, I decided to do this full time. And what our Parents on Deck does is we work with schools, calm down, Sharon. We work with schools to help them strengthen their parental involvement program. And so I would like now to find out how many of you have this postcard. And Michael, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Dan.
Dan, if you can count those people. This is our information card.
Get those hands up high, let's go.
Yeah.
You guys ever go to school?
We pass these out to parents when we find that there's a parent who is in need of some quiet, confidential support. We know many of you, I don't know how many of you are parents, but we all at some time have an issue or concern that we really don't want to talk to the guidance counselor, the principal, nothing against the principal, the guidance counselor, or teachers, but you want to find a commonality, a bond with someone else who has walked through your experience. And so that's what All Parents on Deck does. We identify ourselves as a source of support to parents as their children attend school throughout the school year. And if a parent wants to contact us, we arrange it with the school or we set up an individual consultation and try to help our parents to mitigate the barriers that limits their children's ability to achieve academic success. Which group has this postcard right here? Okay.
That whole sign? It's like everybody over there.
Do you have an accurate number?
I don't know yet.
This is our unorthodox approach. I trust you. This is our unorthodox approach to spread our positive message about parental involvement and family engagement to more schools, to more people, and to more parents. And what I did is I was on my way home from a tennis match in Indianapolis, and I just came to me. One of the things I do when I'm stuck in traffic is I sing. I hum. I usually sing gospel. But on this day, the traffic was so bad, gospel just wasn't going to get it. No offense, God, but I needed it. It was this tune, and it just kept coming to me and coming to me. And before I knew it, we were stuck in traffic for 6 hours because there was construction between Illinois and Indiana. So by the time I got home, I had already penned part of a song. And then I kept working on it, and I said, So this is my postcard that I put out in 2014. I shared this music with schools, with parents. It's a contemporary message called We're Getting Involved, and it's available on my website, and that's one of the approaches that we use. Now I'd like for you to count the numbers of people who received this blue souvenir booklet.
This thing?
Yes. How many people received it? Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna be very serious, and I'm gonna talk about why I did this. It was just not to make him work harder, especially when he thought he was getting a break. Family engagement, parental involvement is something that we all struggle with. And the reason why I did that is because some people over here who represent parent populations received information. Now just imagine if this was your child in school and there was a test or an exam or something really, really important that needed to be disseminated to a parent. If you have a parent who has a work schedule, who works second shift, first shift, third shift, and cannot continue to communicate with the teachers, what's going to happen to that information? A, the child will miss out on the opportunity, maybe fall behind, not have his or her work done. We don't know. But the absence of continuous parental involvement and family engagement affects our schools. We know that. We hear about the parents who are not involved. We know about the federal government and the Title I programs and what they're doing to try to engage these parents with our tax dollars. But what you don't hear, and now the reason why I ask those terms is, you don't hear about the involved parents. That's a term that I coined, but it is a reality in our schools. I heard different terms to describe the negative connotations of our schools. I heard science, I heard fun, I heard groups, but very seldom do we talk about the driving force that catapults our children onto roads that lead to academic success. That would come from our involved parents, people like you, for those of you who are involved. Either you have children, you have a niece, you have a nephew, or whatever. So All Parents on Deck is committed to encouraging our schools to do more to acknowledge and to celebrate involved parents. Yes, we do have parents who are less involved, but I think that it's time now for our schools, our administrators, our legislatures, to stop operating from the deficit model, and we need to focus on people who are actually doing something. And that would be our involved parents and our volunteers, and that's what our organization is about. So, with that being said, one of the ways that we do that is we also involve our legislative body. And I will just have Dan to pass this around. Pass one to that side, and I'll pass this one to this side, just like we're in school. And you can just look at this and pass it around.
Either one or both of these?
It doesn't matter, both of them is fine.
All right.
And so what this is a result of our advocacy work to our governor here in Wisconsin. Whether you like him or not, he and his office, the proclamation office, they're very committed and very supportive of All Parents on Deck. So what I do is, around this time of the year, as we approach November, I write letters to our governor and to his team, and they will create these proclamations. You can share that one too. And then I will share that information with our school districts, Madison, Middleton, Verona, Milwaukee, and also other schools within the United States. We're branching out because we want to share our positive message about involved parents. And one of the ways that we do it is we ask our schools to create events that recognize involved parents. And that generally happens during the month of November. The third week in November is National Parental Involvement Day. Has anyone in this room heard of that? That's our mission. Today you heard about National Parental Involvement Day, which was created by an attorney who is the founder of an organization called ProjectAppleseed.org. I just plugged him. But it's okay because he is doing a phenomenal job of creating opportunities for schools to recognize their students and parents and volunteers, but we just really haven't caught the ball here in Madison. So my job initially was to share this message. And we've had a lot of support from the Madison Metropolitan School District, Verona Schools, Sun Prairie just got involved last year, and we just continue to push the message about family engagement, parental involvement. Now, I know you all are asking me, what does this have to do with me? I'm an accountant. What does this have to do with me? I design technology. Well, really, as an employer or a prospective employer or an entrepreneur, it does affect you because A, your inability to create opportunities or to engage your employees, your staff, and encourage them to be involved in their school, it does affect the child. Because if your employee or you yourself, if you're so engaged in your work and you don't have time to go to school, then your child is the one that suffers. But the full picture is there has to be a relationship between parent, teacher, student. We all know that, but do we ever think about the business community and the role that the business community plays in terms of the hindrances and the, I would say, the struggles that parents have to stay engaged in their school? The biggest complaint that I have is I'm scared to take off from work. I might lose my job. So here in this room, I am advocating for those of you who are in positions of authority to take this back to your corporate or your corporation or your boss and think about your role and how you can encourage your workers to remain involved in your school. So I'm going to take a break for a minute, so I feel like there might be some questions, and I'm going to ask, does anybody have a question so far?
I do.
Okay.
How long do I have to be up here?
Well,
I don't care, I just wondered.
Well, I'm going to ask you very kindly and release you to go back to your seat and create those statistics, and then I'll start talking about that part now, after I answer the questions. You may go back to your seat.
Which statistics? I counted people. You want me to create some statistics for
Yes,
this?
yes.
Just make them up?
Based on what you have, I'd like to have a statistical breakdown of the information you just created. If you can't do it, it's fine. But that's all part of the presentation.
Now she's really pressure. She's dodging now. Yeah, I shouldn't have asked.
If you
I'll
can't
just
do
stay up here and do it.
Okay.
I was just curious.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry, did you have a question?
yeah, so you talked about, businesses kind of condoning this ability to get involved. Have you actually gone into communities and talked to the businesses and say, can you encourage this by giving time off
Good
specifically
question.
for it? I mean,
Yes.
is that kind of involvement you're getting into?
That is part of our mission, that is part of our objective is to engage the business community. We have the attention of the schools. We're starting to develop name recognition. Our schools are aware, our legislative body is aware, and we're spreading the word across the United States. But now we need to engage the business community. So, good question, good lead-in. I'm just going to segue into my next part of my presentation, which would be on November 6th, twice a year we recognize volunteers and parents in a large way. And we ask our schools to nominate those volunteers and parents who are active in the school. And then All Parents on Deck will invite those parents right over here to the Overture Center. And that blue the blue, big blue, yes, that is our souvenir booklet, and it has the names of some parents that we recognized last year. You can also go to our website and see what we did last year, but yes, now is the time for All Parents on Deck to work with the business community on a larger scale and to share this message and to see what businesses are committing to do to increase their employees' ability to stay involved in their school. Also, I would like to engage the business community to advertise in my souvenir booklet in preparation for our second annual Making Music Together event, which will be held on November 6th. So anybody in this room who feels compelled and understands what I'm saying, I wholeheartedly welcome your advertisement in our souvenir booklet. So, now, Mr. Dan, have you formulated a theory, statistical theory so far about the dissemination of information in this room?
Well, a couple things.
Okay.
One is just going back to who has glasses.
Sure.
So 30% of, well, there's far more guys with glasses.
Okay.
There's 7 guys,
Mhm.
3 women,
Okay.
or 1 woman with glasses. So that tells me something's up. I'm not sure, except guys are too lazy to put in contacts. Women are more vain. I don't know. But we, that's the statistics on who has glasses.
Okay.
Now, there's half the glasses are over here.
He's really
Well, for the guys, 4 and 3. I'm not sure how that worked out. I'm not sure on the postcards. I didn't really come up with anything, the left side and the right side. You have 10 people here, which is, I guess, the number of people, right? And then, you know, everybody over there, 15, has the postcards.
Okay.
So 40% and 60%.
Beautiful.
The blue booklet, there's 8 of us. So 8 out of 23 is roughly a third, so it's roughly 30%.
30%.
Of us have the blue book.
30% have the information. Can I stop you there?
Yes.
The reason why this is important, and this was just an experiment just to engage my audience, but this is a very serious matter because if a teacher is trying to educate a child and help them to achieve academic success, if we only have 30% of the population within a school environment that is able, oh my gosh.
I'll take care of
it. 1 out of 25 phone. Sure, one.
I'm so sorry. That was all part of the plan, just to see who's paying attention. I'm turning it off. But on a very serious note, we understand the issues about children who are not faring well in school. And when you have such a small population of people who are engaged, involved, and working with the teacher and working with the student, those issues do negatively affect the student. But more importantly, what I did is I gave information to one group, information to another group, and information to another group, and that's pretty much how our schools operate. That's how children operate when they don't have parents who are coming and making sure that it's not just 30%, but their child has 100% of the information that he or she needs to achieve academic success. So you now may be seated.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. So, in terms of, you want to clap? In terms of, you're probably wondering, well, what is the business model? How does this make you, how do you earn money from this? All Parents on Deck is not in the business of making money off of parents. We are in the business of supporting them so their children can achieve academic success. Our source of income comes from advertisement, speaking, our music. We created an opportunity to create income from outside sources instead of charging parents for what we do. I feel that we're experts, we're all experts, whoever has navigated a child through school from kindergarten to 12th grade and perhaps to college. You're experts in your own right, and that information that you have should not be sold, it should be shared. So one of the things we're working on is trying to build up and identify those people who want to join us in our efforts to support parents. But in terms of the financial aspect of the business and what we do, it comes from a sale of our music and advertising. And I would love to talk with any of you who feel that what I have said has meaning, has validity, and that your company and your organization would like to learn what you can do, and also to advertise with us and help us to get the message out. And that's my presentation in a nutshell.
Thanks, Sharon, and thanks for the, I think you had a good community ask question there at the end, so I'll let that serve as the answer to that question. Anyone else, feel free to ask questions. We do have about 5 minutes before the hour here, so.
We can go on with questions after that, but we just want to be respectful of people get to seek out.
Yep.
So, is it only you that's doing this work, or do you have volunteers or help, or how does that work?
Well, good question. I am the founder of the organization, but what we're doing is we are identifying parents across the nation, and they are members of my Facebook page, they are joining the organization. We do have people who volunteer, but the organization is comprised of myself. But the parents are, I would say, volunteers and employees of their school in a sense, because the more people that we can engage in the school system, then it helps us to complete our mission. So the answer to your question is, I am the founder, I'm the only employee at this time, but we do involve volunteers. Julianne.
Would you consider your organization more of a celebration of involved parents or more of an advocacy group for parents who aren't involved?
Excellent question. Because we try to achieve both goals. We work with the population who is less involved. We go into the school, we create workshops. We've done some work with the UW-Madison People Program. When I first started, I was hosting workshops in the libraries and parents would come. We celebrate and we advocate. Both. We achieve two goals. Great question. Anyone else?
Yeah, so you mentioned allowing time off for parents without having to worry about being fired as being one of the things that would greatly help in this situation. What other advice do you have as far as like policies? So I work in HR, so like what else can I do to help parents be involved with their kids?
Excellent question. As a human resource officer, you can work with your company. Are you a small business, large business, small business?
Startup, yeah, small business.
Yes. It's very important for companies to engage to create opportunities within the work environment that promotes parental involvement, family engagement. It's not just up to the school. So as a startup, I would be happy to sit down with you and give you some little tidbits about what you can do. You can make a connection between the schools in your area that you know your parents attend, and keep those channels open. One of the things that I would recommend is trying to find an opportunity or a location within your company, a room or a place. So if a parent does have a problem, they don't have to leave the school. They can work out an arrangement with the teacher. The teacher can talk to them within the confines of that private room. Or you can also set up opportunities where the parent can Skype on their lunch break and just start bringing members of the educational community into your business to keep them informed about what's going on. I wanted to share a story. When I was in emergency management, first I worked with the federal government, and then I wanted to stay home because I was working very hard, let's put it like that, and I don't want to bash, but I was 8 months away from home at a time, and I had school-age children. I was fortunate that I had a husband that was helping out. And so I transitioned to state emergency management, and I encountered a young lady who was on the other side of the cubicle, and her child was a special needs, and the child had had an accident, but the mother could not find anyone to take those clothes to the school. And her anxiety and her pain and the constant conversations that she was having on this side of the cubicle and I was on this side, it just stayed with me. And so those type of situations where parents have a private place, just in the same way where the businesses have created changing rooms, there could be just a little conference room. And that's a start. And then just ask your employees, maybe in your newsletter, you can ask your employees to give information. I heard you talking about a newsletter, someone was creating. Oh, okay, so that's an idea for all of you, for your company to create, when you're creating newsletters or these digital models that you're creating, work with your school system and ask them what are they doing and how can you spread that information in your companies, because we're a team. Anyone else have questions?
Well, it seems to me you've got kind of a twin or a double-pronged thing. You've got encouragement of the desired behavior,
Yes.
and you have enablement of the desired behavior. And another kind of big thing is that I really like your positive, your net positive focus.
Yes.
So, for example, if you're talking to an HR company or a company HR person, you can say, this is a fringe benefit for your employees that our company supports your activity in the school.
Yes.
It's not a sick day. It's a doing the right thing day.
Yeah, academic excellence day.
Right, and it
Yes.
becomes a positive
Yes.
human resource benefit to the employee, especially to those who may be parents with split shifts where
Yes.
one's working days, one's working nights, and no one has time for the PTA meeting or the parent involvement with the teacher. So it's that positive uplift that I think is really, really great.
Absolutely. And that was what appealed to me. I know, I heard about the information about parents and the communication, but there's such a large population of us, I'm going to say us, of the parents who are involved, who are engaged, who are working with the teacher. And I don't think it's fair that you have these great employees, well, I'm using them as employees incorrectly, but people who are giving their time, giving their resources, volunteering, but they go unnoticed. And I think if we have a paradigm shift in our educational system and we begin to do more to recognize those people, the hope is those people who are not engaged or less engaged will say, oh, and then they'll want to follow suit. But more importantly, I think any company understands the importance of recognizing positive behaviors versus negative. And so I would like for our academic educational community to have this paradigm shift. Focus more on what's positive, you achieve more, and then you bring more people on board. And you also see stronger levels of academic achievement in our students because their parents are involved. So I need your support. If you have any other questions or you want to talk to me off the record, I'm happy to talk to you.
Thanks, Sharon.